musique, je l'adore. Je tremble. C'est fantastique.
Looks like a modern Bordeaux.
Très sexy.
C'est fantastique.
Spring 2001 really seems to be this contrast between the strong, sexy woman and the strong, androgynous woman.
I mean, they're sort of reacting against probably like last season's full-on glamour.
Est-ce que je te fais plaisir?
I think that's a good look. Tough and sexy.
Raw, hot, sexy, sure of herself.
You want to accentuate all the curves that a woman has. And if you do that, you need an edge. You need to play that against something. Otherwise, you're too vulnerable as a woman, I would think.
Modern women really are strong, and there's nothing wrong with being strong. And it's not necessarily an insult to say, oh, you know, what a bitch. I actually think that just means she knows what she wants. It's also just to let the girls know that this really is about a woman in control.
In a way, I guess it's a reflection of our times, freedom, you know, that you can go and you should go to the direction of what you feel yourself. So if a girl feels like being a bit more masculine, she can today. And if she feels like being completely like a girl, she can. I think there's a lot to be said for that.
It is a season of great choice. It's a season of great power for women. It's a season for women to sort of express their own power and their own strength in the way that they embellish themselves, the way they dress, the way they do their hair and their makeup.
C'était fantastique.
I want you to get together. This one is longer, and this one is thicker. So let me just make it. I want you to get together. This for sure is thicker.
By just concentrating on the eyes, it gives a very strong look without using too much makeup.
The eyes had a lot of focus. There were a lot of mascara on the lashes, and that looked really great and really strong.
So yeah, no reason why people can't be a little bit more excessive with mascara. I think it's a good look, especially for the summer.
We saw a lot of eyeliner at the shows for Spring 2001, and they took a lot of different permutations. The strongest, I think, was a black line either against the eye or sometimes remaining the entire eye.
Put your hands together one time. I want you to
Black liquid eyeliner, which stays quite shiny, and mascara, but the rest of the face is bare.
I want you to get together. I want you to get together. I want you to get together.
this woman may be the woman, I don't know, wanting to have a little bit of wicked fun.
And then in a more extreme version at Louis Vuitton, where it was almost like a pen and ink drawing, almost felt like a Japanese drawing or calligraphy.
Very powerful eye, very, very powerful. And what we have is completely just liquid eyeliner worked into the eye. No eyeshadow, no nothing, just liquid eyeliner and water. Really? Yeah, and tons of mascara, of course.
At Christian Dior, the theme was beauty queens and kind of twisted, sad beauty queens. So we saw this silver eyeliner that almost looked like it was mercury or something. It was a bright, bright silver. And some of the models had it dripping down their eye. It was drawn underneath their eye to look as if they'd been crying. Maybe they didn't win the beauty contest.
I mean, it's like wearing a black bra under a white shirt. Some see it but incredibly vulgar. Others it's a height of chic. You know, you kind of need to have a little bit of that bad taste thing to reevaluate what is good taste.
This season, we saw a lot of very strong brows, and I think it reflects the strength of the woman and this image of someone who's strong and powerful and a little tough. And it almost was like the Brooke Shields eyebrow that we all remember.
I just wanted the girls to look sort of like strong and in control, and I felt the easiest and simplest way to do this was give a strong eyebrow and then just keep the rest of the face fairly nude.
You know, we were just saying that it is to do with a pin-up, a kind of a biker girl, punky, but then at the same time a supermodel. So we're playing with those basic supermodel colors of blacks and beige and pronounced eyelashes and a pronounced eyebrow done with powders.
I wanna be where the boys are, but I'm not allowed. I wait outside of the boys' bar. I wait for them to all come out. I'm not a boy.
Come on. Wall of flag.
What makes the woman powerful and feminine, it's definitely a red lipstick.
I'm running out of adjectives. Gorgeous, wonderful, oh, great, perfect. Fantastic. It's all about a red lip.
Red lips really do work very well with black and white clothes.
I don't like glossy or even shiny lipstick. Red, when it's red, I think it's kind of vulgar.
It was almost always this pure red. It wasn't a blue red, it wasn't an orange red. It was really this kind of China red, fire engine red color. So it felt kind of like a classic, almost like a classic stamp.
Mr. Valentino asked me to do red lipstick as well, and I think because it fits so perfectly with the clothes. You don't really kiss a red lipstick. You know, you're afraid to destroy the red lipstick, but at the same time it's very glamorous and very, very feminine.
is just there's a lot of lip balm, and then the red is just put on the fingertip and run around. It's a red colour like this. It's fast and it looks immediate. It looks like homemade, the kind of idea. You can just put the face on real quick and just have it all. You're doing a taxi on the way to the club or something, you know?
We saw a lot of nude lips, and they had a lot of range to them. They could range from a brown nude to a very pinky nude, and we saw it at so many different shows.
If only I could let you go.
See, this color is nice.
Like a pale mauvey rose, which I mixed up. This one, I mixed that up.
I like lipstick that has not much color on it, you know? I like lipstick that is like light color that doesn't really show.
It's not glossy, but it's very moisturising. It's got a very soft sheen to it.
What's really new about the nude lip is the range of nudes and the enormous color possibilities that can fall under the heading of nude, and also the way it was combined with a dark, smudgy eye. I think as a contrast to some of the red and some of the nude, we're going to be seeing more brights, and I think it'll come in the summer. Women tend to like those colors in the summer when clothes are bright and they're out in the bright sunlight.
Hot colours for the summer on the mouth, for verses, and really acid colour mouths, oranges, pinks, lavenders, those kind of colours, different levels of oranges. Really beautiful.
You're my last breath, you're a breath of fresh air to me. I am empty.
I've always think women should look fresh and pretty, you know, no matter what they're wearing or where they're at.
You're the first thing and the last.
We did see a lot of glowing skin, and that really is a continuation of things that have been going on for a while.
Sunshine.
Ralph wanted the makeup to look transparent. Basically, on the runway, he wanted the girl to look very healthy, very young, very fresh. You know, when you see Maggie Ryder or Giselle or any other girl, you recognize them, and they're just looking gorgeous, and they love it. You know, they like to look gorgeous. They're women. You know, who doesn't like to look gorgeous?
Give up yourself up to the moment.
You know, fashion has many trends, you know, and I don't connect to some of the trends. I just do what I believe in. And I've always believed, no matter whether it's 10 years or 5 years ago or 20 years ago, that women that are pretty and attractive, clean hair, and take care of themselves are very important.
The heart is a blue, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck.
I mean, I definitely see it as a, you know, like a spring look. I think it's a trend to sort of use kind of really warm colours on the actual skin, but to contrast that with the cool colours on the eyes and lips. We've used a face wash, which gives the face a really warm glow, and then in contrast to that, we're using iris for the mouth and a water lily for the eyes, which are quite cool colours. So it's a really nice contrast, but it's a very sophisticated face.
saw a bronze face and this use of glowy skin at Michael Kors and Celine.
It's like a desert tan, high desert tan. It's a desert rose. Like deserty, healthy, like glowy, a bit Thelma and Louise-y. I don't look frosty. The whole thing is like a glow, but a glow that comes from like a warm skin.
I love hair and makeup that really, you know, it might take 3 hours to do, but no one knows that. It looks like she just ran out of the house and her hair just dried and it's fabulously healthy and she's ready to roll. See the tuna fleets clearing the...
Bring it back, sing it back, bring it back, sing it back to me.
For a good 10 years, you never saw any designer pay any attention to the nails in the fashion show. But now designers are thinking about every little detail and they're making sure that everything's finished. We saw a lot of dark nails, claret-colored nails. We saw natural nails, and there were a great variety of colors, and it was very playful.
Sky's the limit. You could go short with the French manicure. You could go long and then put on stones. It hasn't stopped. It's going to continue.
At some of the most refined shows, like something like Chanel, they had fake pearls glued on the nails. They were painted in kind of a geometric fashion, and they were really elaborate. And at Galliano, he had things where he had twine wrapped around the nails. At Fendi, there were elaborate nails, and there were these leashes that were attached to the shoes, and the model was holding them. It was this really elaborate attention to the detail and to the kind of kookiness.
This is like it's a new way to wear a chain, you know, huh? Everybody had it around the hips for 100 years. So, but not like this. It's like playing with it. You can remove it and wear it around your neck. Huh? It's a walking chain.
In spring 2001, we saw either very tightly controlled hair or very messy, loose, uncontrolled hair, and not a whole lot in between.
It's like a classic woman's beauty now. I think women feel more, comfortable with themselves. They don't feel they have to just do these, big creations on top of themselves.
The ponytail was still a strong phenomenon on the runway.
It's all black and white, so we wanted something very graphic and very clean and simple without being hard.
In many cases, it was very slicked close to the head. At helmet length, for instance, it was kind of high. The hair had, in some shows, they left the texture very natural or even deliberately manipulated the hair so it looked like you had done nothing, which of course is kind of great and twisted and fantastic.
I'm getting a treatment in my hair today, as I can see.
Exactly.
I'm getting a conditioner treatment. That's what's happening over here.
It's sort of like a bit savage, sexy, natural. It's how hair dries on its own when you have a little bit of wave and it's a little wild and messy.
The Undone Updo is something that we have seen last season and we're seeing more of this season. It's a sexier version of a feminine shape.
The look of the season, I suppose, it's kind of like sort of dishevelled kind of pin-up glamour.
We saw very choppy hair, very tough masculine hair, and it had a certain punk feeling to it and a certain rebellion attached to it.
Actually, the hair is dead straight, and it's kind of thatchy over to one side. Very reminiscent of the early 80s, the club hair.
The hair is based on Andy Warhol. The idea behind it is to make the girl's hair look very, very short, very linear, and very textured, and almost wig-like.
Short hair, I wanted that sort of, really clean short hair, which I think looks great. Actually, love the hair.
Designers in spring 2001 really were looking and examining the notions of femininity.
For me, the modern woman is a woman who is not aggressive, but who people cannot aggress.
The spring 2001 was the first collection Tom Ford did for Yves Saint Laurent, so we were all filled with expectation. He was very inspired by the look of Betty Catrou, who was a muse to Yves Saint Laurent. It was really powerful because it was so definite. I loved it. I loved the Louis Vuitton show, and I thought it was so interesting the way he presented the luggage at the beginning with the Steven Sprouse graffiti on it.
Out of control.
We just went through doing graffiti to sort of play up the name Louis Vuitton, to sort of get over logomania, but make it even more in your face, but more thrown away.
I think it all came back to the designers presenting a very strong woman that they really believed in, who was out there, confident, taking control of her life, but each one had a different interpretation of that. I think that the emphasis really is on strength this season and feminine power, and that is a really positive statement for women.
It's ultimately confidence that makes women feel strong. This is really the millennium. And so why not say bravo? Let's embrace the fact that we might be mixing past references with sporty references, mix it all.
You have to be optimistic to wear a bikini. So yeah, I'd say there's optimism for spring, summer.
I'm Linda Wells, the editor of Allure magazine. In this edition of Allure Backstage, we look at the 2003 spring collections where every designer seemed to be obsessed with sex.
The mood of love and sex is the word, is the style of life. The love is so important, and the sex too.
So what's your definition of sexy?
That the idea is more important than the reality.
There is nothing more powerful if you are a woman than amazing legs and a pair of high heels.
Everyone feels that there are all these different kinds of sexiness, and there are different expressions of sexiness. So there are all these offerings, and one is this innocent flirtatiousness that looks great during the day, and then there's this sultriness that's kind of a late day, early evening look. And then the steamy look is something that looks very appropriate for evening and very dark and very suggestive.
Women always want to look sexy, and it's like, it's not a time to be alternative, it's not a time to be completely natural. And so sexy is, you know, what people seem to want at the moment.
Flirty is one degree of sexiness, and the designers explored this in its most innocent, coquette, Lolita type way. It was very feminine and very sweet, and then when you combined it with the hair and makeup, suddenly it had a little bit more of an edge. The hair and makeup at Marc Jacobs, for instance, had smudged dark liner that was winged out a little bit.
I'm using a wet black shadow with a small brush and kind of scrubbing the line into the lashes and giving it like a hard tick at the end.
At Prada, the makeup artist actually drew eyelashes on the skin underneath the eyes with a black pencil.
This is almost a twiggy eye. Almost, yeah, exactly. The main inspiration of it was sort of Sam Haskins, this great 60s photographer.
I love the makeup, it's very beautiful.
At Louis Vuitton, Pat McGrath used these very sweet pastel colors on the eyes. It looked so innocent and cartoon-like almost.
So we made up a whole new eye shape and a new color that was actually used in the bags and in the clothing as well.
One of the key qualities of the flirty look is this idea of luminous, touchable, soft, gentle skin.
It's just a really nice moisturiser, tinted moisturiser just to even out the skin tone. And then the cheek wash, which is just rubbed against the cheeks very naturally, giving that whole luminous softness to the face.
Still a Ralph Lauren woman, but I think this season she's a bit more romantic than usually. This season is more about like rosy sheer color, pinkish, very see-through, very transparent color.
I'm so content knowing that you're there, and I don't ever wanna say goodbye.
I think, I know, very colorful.
Pink rocks for spring. Pink rocks.
Pink lips were really a strong trend, and they really expressed flirtiness in such a simple way. It's the color of lips when a girl is young, and every makeup artist seemed to want to imitate that.
Kind of almost like a Victorian English rose on the mouth, and then very soft mix of a couple of pinks on the eyes. Very soft and just beautiful.
A lot of the inspiration for the hair was Brigitte Bardot and Saint-Tropez with her bangs and her ponytail.
She was a real woman, you know. She was really beautiful. She was a real woman. So we're taking a very, very classic old idea and just pumping it up, really. You know, turning the volume up.
Well, it was in part inspired by Brigitte Bardot. I mean, you do a women's collection and you think about women, you know, and I guess I call women girls, and therefore girls like to be flirtatious and dress up and indulge in life's sort of simple pleasures, high heels, makeup, beautiful hair, gorgeous dresses, you know. I guess it's my attitude about being a girl.
I'm making shots from my voice box. I got the style to make you move until your heart stops. Cause when I'm running, I'm loving the way the buzz drops. I'm never petting but sweating to use them eye drops. 24/7 people getting pranked. Cause only true musicians.
Backstage at Marc Jacobs, Garen, the hairstylist, told me why he wanted the hair to look a little flirty and a little messy.
It's like the girls from Midwest that grab their hair and pin it up in the front. Well, it suggests an individuality, and it also gives them a sensuality. It's very sexual.
It's like this, prepare to be entertained. This, prepare to be entertained. This, prepare to be entertained. Cause I rearranged the game that others couldn't play. It's like this, prepare to be entertained. This, prepare to be entertained. This, prepare to be entertained.
Flirty hair could also be a very innocent-looking, sweet, handmade bun. And Eugene Suleiman did this at Narciso Rodriguez's show.
It's kind of like blow-dried back really roughly with the hands, pulled back after it's been brushed, obviously, right? And then pulling the hair, popping a few pins in it, and just moving them across so the hair breaks. And this is the little trick, where we just kind of soften those ends, kind of breaks this up, and it adds like a romance to the look, really.
It's not about being overtly sexual. You can be graceful and sensual, and it's so much more provocative.
The woman in a sultry look, she's more in charge of her sexuality, she's more playful with it, she's really enjoying the game.
I love this girl. I feel super sexy. No, I feel super sexy now because I'm a super sexy dress.
The model who really embodies that kind of sexiness and brought this to such popularity is Giselle.
I can walk really fast because it's tighter.
She expresses herself in such a voluptuous way, but with such happiness and energy.
Very Mamma Mia.
The idea of sultry makeup was expressed with big hair and silver and white on the eyelids. At Gucci, Pat McGrath put silver highlighter on the brow bone and then drew it down to the cheek, and it really drew a lot of attention to that part of the eye.
It's super pretty. We're gonna look sun-kissed and shining.
At the Dolce & Gabbana show, Pat McGrath used a lighter eyeshadow, a silvery white eyeshadow with eyeliner and lashes.
So we took the elements of Marilyn Monroe makeup, which is basically monochrome black and white, and we've used it on the eyes, just a smudge of white and a little bit of black on the outer corner smudge.
makeup is like a Marilyn Monroe. You know, when she wake up in the morning, it is the same mood. Really sexy and a little bit rock and roll.
It's really great. Look, dogs.
At Celine, the models wore almost a tequila sunrise effect on their eyelids. It was pink and purple and gold and graduated up to the brow bone. Very beautiful, though. It's like almost rainbow-like. Tell me about this.
Just felt like it was, time for a bit of sweetness, and it's still kind of like, sexy and girly, I think.
Sexy today, I think, you can wear a really short skirt, you can wear a really bare bikini, but I think if you temper it with something that's sporty, I think it helps tremendously.
When you have a sultry look, the hair becomes bigger and bigger still. At Dolce & Gabbana, Eugene Suleman teased the hair, and then he used a balloon and rubbed the balloon on the hair so that the hair became staticky and had even more volume. And it almost looked like it was flowing in the breeze.
So they kind of look like their hair's like maybe been done a while ago. And then afterwards, what we're actually doing is we're just massaging the roots of their hair. So it's kind of like teasing, but it's kind of teasing in more of a relaxed way, just to create like some volume and lightness to the hair.
At Gucci, Orlando Pita and Tom Ford wanted the hair to be big, 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 gigantically teased hair.
It's supposed to look like it's done from the night before, the back home. So it's very lightly done and then sprayed, and then we keep teasing and spraying and teasing and spraying and flipping the hair, so we don't really create too much of a round shape.
So this gigantically teased hair with the shorter skirts made this very aggressively sexy woman.
The hair wasn't supposed to be quite so big, but today while we were doing it backstage, I was just in the mood for it. Again, it was a visceral reaction. I said, you know what, it's great. Just make it bigger, bigger, bigger.
At the spring 2003 shows, the very extreme of sexuality was this really steamy look. The skirts were often very short. The idea of rumpled hair was true at so many different shows.
I feel huge. I feel like my hair is 3 meters.
Look, there's like a feeling of a sort of supermodel coming back. You know what I mean? Just because the business and, people require that kind of beauty and glamour around at the moment.
Even at Armani, the girls had long, loose, bedhead hair. And Orlando Pita at Versace said that he wanted the models to look as if they'd had a romp in the sheets.
This is not about following a trend. This is who Donatella is, and that's what she wants to represent and what she loves. So, the fact that everybody else did volume this season has nothing to do with why we're doing it. We would have done it anyway.
The steamy eyes were really dark and really smudged. At Armani, Pat McGrath used very dark black shadow and then a pink highlighter to draw attention to that and add a little bit of brightness to the eye.
Instead of going like a full round smoke, we have just taken the smoke here in the areas that we actually want to create depth.
At the Chloe show, makeup artist Val Garland smeared the liner and the mascara with water to give the look of last night's makeup.
nice sexy eye, smoky, lived in.
I just think you don't need to show too much flesh to look sexy.
At Versace, the eyes were really dark and silver, and it was drawn on heavily, dark in a kind of rock and roll way.
Mamma mia!
This is like a real metal, heavy metal, very rock and roll way of using cinema.
The extreme, steamy, sexy look happened at Yves Saint Laurent.
The idea was that this woman's quite eccentric, so that basically she could do it herself. She's somebody who just kind of puts on pencil and pencil and pencil and pencil.
And then the girls had their nipples painted a really dark, almost black purple. So when they showed, it was this very startling, almost decadent look.
I mean, it was about sex, but it was also about sensuality, maybe. You know, I wanted this girl to be really quite twisted because she's quite restrained in a certain way.
What we did see were clothes that were very tempting and very positive and very desirable and very sweet and optimistic as well.
The boss wants to be young and beautiful like her secretary.
Come la segretaria.
Yeah, that's so true.
Ok?
Thank
Capito,
you.
Grazie.
At Christian Dior, the clothes were super short and the makeup and the hair was extreme and theatrical and very flamboyant and fun and incredibly inventive.
Part of my job as a couturier is to make women dream. It was about a hardcore glamour. Hardcore at Dior, we called it. Taking like quite sporty pieces, but giving them like a Marlene Dietrich spin. And that was kind of like what the makeup was about too. Kind of finished, unfinished, show, backstage.
The message is that confidence can be expressed through hair and makeup and fashion, and femininity can be expressed this way. And if you find something that makes you feel your best and look your best, and then wear that with confidence, and that's the most attractive look of all.